Hello and welcome to the English Podcast Studio, the podcast for learners who want to speak English with more confidence and joy. I'm Lee, and I'm here to help you speak English more naturally, step by step, day by day. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know you're struggling right now. You're trying so hard to learn new words in English, or maybe in another language, and it feels like a constant battle. I know the feeling. That moment when you're learning maybe dozens of new words throughout the day. They come into your mind, but then they just get wiped away, and you never use them again. It's frustrating. I've learned 3 foreign languages myself. So believe me, I truly understand how that feels. So today, I'm going to share some powerful, practical methods. These are strategies that will help you not just learn new words, but actually memorize them. And with these simple techniques, you really can learn hundreds, even thousands of new words efficiently. If you're ready to stop forgetting and start remembering, please stick around and continue listening to this episode. Let's dive in to method number 1. This is fundamental. When you learn any new word, you must make sure that you also learn all of its forms. Think about it. There are so many words in English that can be used in different ways. They might be a noun, which is an object, but they can also be a verb, an action. Take the word milk, for example. Yes, milk is a drink. It comes from a cow. Simple. But to milk is actually a verb, and it means the action of getting milk out of a cow. To milk might seem obvious now, and you already knew the noun form. But look, there's a second meaning. Many, many words are like this. Some of the most common ones are love, hope, kiss, dry, and work. There are countless others. By spending a tiny bit more time on the first day, you think you learned one word, but in reality, you actually learned 2 words. That's efficient learning. Number 2, this is a great shortcut, especially for European and South American language speakers. Think about words that end with TION, like ambition. Guess what? In many languages, particularly across Europe, they might sound almost completely the same. For example, ambición in Spanish. I apologize if my Spanish pronunciation isn't perfect. I haven't learned it, but I'm trying for you all. Ambición in German, ambitione in Italian. Basically, these words are going to sound extremely similar. Other powerful examples you can use are motivation, dissertation, profession, portion, intonation, convention, and sanction. Many others. Write down a list of these. The trick is, practically all the words that end with TION in English are going to sound nearly identical in your native language. This gives you instant vocabulary. Method number 3. Oh my goodness, this is my favorite one. Whenever you learn a new word, please do this. Google it first and go immediately to the images section. Why? Because sometimes you will see pictures that are going to remind you of people or characters or things you've seen before, things you've already named in your mind. And they're the same as the word you are currently learning. For instance, the word spear. This is a weapon. Now, hello, Britney Spears has the same last name. I actually use the word spear
thousands of times in my life because I'm a big fan of Britney Spears. Another word is beetle. A beetle is a small bug. The first thing that comes to my mind and the first thing Google will show you is the new Beetle car by Volkswagen. I had a computer game when I was about 10 years old, and you ran away from the police in Chicago, and they always used the Volkswagen New Beetle. I've been using this word for hundreds of times in my life thanks to that memory. Another great example, Gosling. A gosling is a baby goose. And of course, Ryan Gosling. Hello, Ryan. Baby goose. You will remember this forever. Association is key. Method number 4. What you need to remember is that words in English often have several meanings, and sometimes those meanings can be completely and utterly different. So make sure you learn at least 2 or 3 of those meanings. Take the word fire. To fire means to let somebody go. For example, an employee. You're fired. At the same time, the noun fire is the flames, the heat, all of that. What about the word date? To date means to go out with a loved one or someone you really like. A date itself is the social action when you go out with somebody you love. A date is also the fruit or berry. They sell a lot of them, like a fig, a date. And finally, a date can be a day in a calendar. Again, you have this one word, but you actually have 4 different meanings. Another example is to miss. To miss means to miss a bus. When you lost the bus, it is gone. When you miss somebody, you really long to see them. And Miss is a title for a girl. For example, Miss Marina. Number 5. This is one of the easiest. There are so many words that sound pretty much the same in every single language. You don't even need to translate them or adjust them or anything. You just have to pronounce them in an American way or pronounce them in a British way, whatever you're aiming for. Think of aquarium. In Russian, it's akvarium. In German, it's aquarium. In French, aquarium. I don't know many others, but you get what I mean. Other great examples are antidepressants, avocado, caramel, cocktails, candle, and organism. I could go on and on. There are literally hundreds of words that sound exactly the same in many other languages. This is an extremely important rule. Yes, another very important rule when it comes to learning new words is having this safety net. I define this safety net as the 100 most commonly used words in the English language. I've actually released a video about those 100 words. If you know those 100 words, you actually know about 50% of all written English. These words include things like I, me, her, she, government, and more. There are hundreds of these foundational words. Please, watch that video if you haven't watched it yet and write down all of those words. They're going to be so useful for you because you're going to feel safer. You're going to feel more relaxed when you have them. They just help you formulate your speech.
Rule number 7. Sometimes words that we already know and that might sound pretty easy form different expressions. For example, nuts. Nuts are things that we eat, like almonds or walnuts. But you can also say, "Are you nuts?" Are you nuts doesn't mean, are you like this thing that you can eat? This means, have you gone crazy? There are so many expressions like that in English. So again, when you're learning a new word, make sure you know everything that is connected with it. Whether it has other forms, whether it has other meanings, or maybe it is used in a completely different way in an expression. That's a great example. I feel blue. It doesn't mean that I feel like a blue color. It means I feel sad. Another expression you should definitely learn is I'm all ears. This means I am listening carefully. Well then, I am all ears. This is how we move to the next method. When you really like a phrase or a word or anything new, try to use it straight away. For example, if you are enjoying watching this video, if you think that the things I say make sense, you could comment below. Lee, I was all ears while I was watching your video. Or simply, Lee, I'm all ears. This means to me that you liked the content and that you are listening attentively, maybe even writing things down. So you're ready to comment, but you are actually practicing. You are making your brain train with this new word. You are making it memorize it even more effectively. And my last piece of advice? Yes, we've talked about a lot of words that sound the same in many languages, but there are also false friends. I was really embarrassed once when I was using the word eventually in German. The word there sounds like eventuell, and I thought it had the same meaning as in English. In English, eventually means in the end, but in German, eventuell means perhaps. It's a completely different meaning. There is the same issue with the word actual. Actual in English means current, and there's a word in Spanish, actual, and in Spanish it means real, not current. Be aware of those false friends. Just double check anything you are not sure about. Especially when you're learning, when you're in the middle of a class, make sure to double check it. It never ever hurts. These were the methods that I believe will help you accelerate in learning a language. They will help you learn hundreds, even thousands of new words efficiently every day. Please let me know if you liked this video. I'm really looking forward to your comment. Use the phrase, tell me, I was all ears. You know what to do? Like it if you enjoyed the content. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. The button is right below. I hope to see you in the next videos. Bye! See you next time in the English Podcast Studio.